watching, everything is lit, lit. Niggas gold on a gold.
Welcome to the world according to Boogie and them. And it's Throwback Thursday. Even though this song came out last year, it's a year old, so we're gonna still consider it a little throwback, a more updated throwback, which I am thoroughly enjoying. DJ Khaled and Miss Cardi B, yes. So that was nice. I thought we'd come in with that. Happy Thursday, everybody. And if today is your birthday, I'd like to wish you a happy birthday. And also happy Black History Month. We're going to be doing, just little discussions on Black history, because Black history to us is throughout the entire year.
Yes, it is.
So it's like throughout the entire year for
every
us.
single day.
Exactly. And in a good way. Yes. Not in an inappropriate way, but in a positive way. Because that's what we should do. A lot of times we are shown in a not so positive light. And we're discussing the positive light. And everyone, go get your COVID tests and your COVID shots, vaccines, inoculations when they come out, so that we don't have to deal with mutating COVID. Or just remutating. And, so that the vaccines will work and wipe it out, the ones that we have. We don't want any more mutations, okay? So get out there and get your vaccine. They're perfectly safe, and in your communities. Now, in some communities, there has been, concern over not having enough of the vaccine, to supply, to offer to everyone in the community. And I would just say, check your local community, your local health department, really your local health department and state officials, and as far as the vaccine in our Black and brown communities, because there was, I know in New York City, there was a concern over non-ethnic, communities getting the vaccine, getting the vaccine more, and then like a small amount of percentage amount, very small, like 11% over, let's say 60, but that's just my projectile. You'll have to look it up for the, it's just a low for the ethnic Black and brown communities. And, so I want you guys to get out there and get your vaccines when they become available. Okay, because again, we do not want this getting any worse than what it is. We want to kind of bring it in and bring it to a closure.
None of that. Just no more of it.
And I wanted to say this, again, if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Yes, but indeed. I want to say this. I'm going to do some cooking shows and some eating shows and stuff like that. But I have been so super duper 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 busy. It's been ridiculous how busy I've been. And but I promise you I'm going to get to it. And I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning into the world according to Bookie and them.
Thank you so much.
You are all amazing. You are all fabulous, and you are all talented in your own special way. When God made you, he broke the mold, baby. You are special. And, do your very best. And you are somebody. Get as educated as you possibly can. And you always strive for excellence. Okay, and don't let anybody tell you anything less. And always be willing, because some of us are not receptive to corrective criticism. Always be, sometimes corrective criticism can kind of hurt your feelings a little bit, but it's only to make you better. Trust me, I've had corrective criticism at times, and did it feel good? Absolutely not. But I went ahead and I used my coping skills, and I said, okay, I see where they're looking at, and I see where I'm at, and I'm going to use that to make myself better, and to do better, and to be better. Always be willing to do better. Always, although some corrective criticism hurts your feelings, always be willing to accept it and go on. Now, Nim, what do you have for us for Black History?
Well,
you may or may not know this, but Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech.
That's Martin Luther King. Let's get that T. Okay.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Because we don't want nobody on the Facebook. She didn't correct her, blah, 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 blah. Because, some people can be, a little bit judgy. Okay, I'm sorry, ma'am. Go ahead.
Martin Luther King Jr., I don't know if you know this, but his "I Have a Dream" speech was improvised. First, he was going with his original speech that he had, which was political and less historic. But he pushed that aside and he was like, you know what? I don't need this anymore. I can speak from my heart, because that's what all of this is from, our heart. Everything we do, everything we stand for is from our heart. And so, Mahalia Johnson did I say I'm not?
It's Mahalia Jackson.
Oh, I said that wrong.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Mahalia Jackson. Excuse me, I got her last name wrong. Mahalia Jackson. She was in the back, but behind him, and she was yelling, "Tell him about the dream, Martin." And we're not sure if he heard her or not, but that could have inspired him to start talking about it, because he didn't talking about his dream, because
that could have inspired his "I Have a Dream" speech, because he at first he was talking about economics and that kind of stuff. He had a prepared speech,
yeah.
And then he kind of drifted off, and he you know what, take it, put the paper away, and he started speaking like Nam said, from his heart. And then he said, "I have a dream." And then and Mahalia Jackson said, "Tell him about your dream, Martin." And so that's where he started saying, "I have a dream." And so that speech today, it still gives me, it's so amazing. It just still gives me just goosebumps. It was just awesome. It's the best speech of all time. So we wanted to give a special shout out to the Black History and to all of our Black historians. We thank you so much for everything that you have done.
And
what else do you have now?
History from till this day.
That's right. And African Americans are still making history to this day.
And it's gonna keep on going.
Now, I wanted to tell you guys, like I said, I have been super duper busy. So I'm going to be doing again a lot of eating, the eating shows, mukbang, if you will. I think that's how you pronounce it, mukbang shows. And we're going to be doing.
What the heck is that?
It's an eating show, where you do all the eating. I don't know. You have to ask them. I think it's Korean. It's Korean. It's Korean. It's Korean for eating show. So it's Korean, not Caribbean. Korean.
I'm thinking. I don't know why I thought of Caribbean.
It's a lot, going on in our news today. As far as always, I don't know what they're doing about the stimulus checks. I'm gonna have to check that out.
They're probably still processing.
They're still talking about that. In the meantime, it's a lot of people. We gotta go back. We just gotta pray for our country, y'all, and pray that we can come to a common agreement with one another, and to respect each other's individuality and equality and for everyone. You
should appreciate everybody's beliefs.
You should.
And you shouldn't treat somebody different because of who they are, what they look like, what gender they are. It doesn't matter.
What nationality they are.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't,
because
they're all human beings. They're all human. That's right.
We are all humans, and we all bleed red.
Yes, we're all human beings, and we all have the same basically anatomy of men and women, and we all cry, and we all have, more importantly,
we all have
feelings. Okay.
So how would you feel if you were the opposite?
Right. So
But you could, you will, but
We
sometimes
have to
you
do
will
better.
never know.
And we have
but
to
you
have
just have to put yourself in the person's shoes.
exactly, and practice what you preach, because at the end of the day, it's up to us. And now some people might not be at that level with you, so you're going to have to be patient with some people that disagree with you.
But then again, you're supposed to
you got to be patient, and you got to
agree to disagree.
When some people fly, like Michelle Obama said, when people fly low, you fly high. Because I mean, you want to, sometimes you want to fly low. I'm not gonna lie, but it's best to fly high and to walk away and to be the bigger person and to be the more professional person and to just kind of shake it off. You can get your point across without having a verbal altercation. And but sometimes it's best to just. Sometimes silence is golden too. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and check out our podcast, check out our blog.
Yes,
what else
check
now?
Out our Instagram and our TikTok.
And thanks for listening to the World According to Boogie. Thanks for your support.
Peace out. Have a wonderful day, whether it's night, day, morning, whatever. Have a wonderful
I got my little warm blanket, y'all. It's cold. Not that I have fever and chills. It's just cold.
Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace out. The World According to Boogie.
Keep it juicy.
Or hot, whichever one. Peace out.